Guys, so NEO just released a shocking new report for July, and it shows that this has just flipped. Absolutely massive news. First of all, take a look at the ratios. This is for NEO owners, how they get their electricity. So 53.2% of NEO owners get their electricity from swap. So this is out of the total amount of electricity they get. And then 19.6% is from third-party chargers, 4.5% from NEO's public chargers, and then 22.7% from home chargers. So that means 75.9% of electricity is from 3 minutes battery swap, and also from home charger. All right, so either swap or home charger, 75.9%. Absolutely amazing. In the month of July, there were 19 new swap stations, and then we got fourth generation swap stations in lots of different cities from Shanghai, and it's being deployed all around China. There were 14 new highway swap stations, and then on the highways, approximately every 224 kilometers, there will be a swap station. Absolutely incredible. And then here is very interesting stat. All right, pay attention to this number. So for July, total number of swap station orders, 2,299,707. All right, so that means that every day there's an average of 74,184 swaps per day, which means every 1.16 seconds there's a swap. So that's absolutely crazy. Every 1 second there's a swap. And then for the month of July, on average, every NEO owner swapped about 4 times. And if you take into account that if charging takes like an hour, 60 minutes, then that means every NEO owner was saved 3 hours and 48 minutes of time if they were to charge instead of swapping. So man, that's a lot of time saved. And then so pay attention to this number. All right, remember this number, 2.299 million swaps. All right, so in terms of chargers, all right, NEO got 162 new charging piles, and then these also include like lots of the rural places within China, etc. And then with lots of these rural places, 99.83% of coverage. All right, there's 99.83% of coverage in these rural places where it's just NEO. All right, so pretty crazy. And then if you look at the number of charging orders, and remember, keep in mind, this is public chargers. All right, this is NEO's public chargers. Everybody can charge here, not just NEO, BYD, Tesla, etc. They can all charge here. NEO got 2.266 million orders for charging. So that means there are more swap station orders. People are swapping more, total swaps more than the number of total charges from everybody that's using NEO's chargers, which is absolutely insane. And on top of that stat, 80% are from non-NEO owners. So these charging orders, 80% from non-NEO owners. There's over 200 other brands using NEO's chargers, and I've even seen like Tesla's taxis. Some of them, they all use NEO's chargers because they're really reliable and they have a very fair price. And of course, we know in July, Huawei, they joined in on the joined in on the charging network, so they can also use NEO's chargers, and that's one more step for potential swapping partnership down the line. And yeah, and this is very interesting. This is the number of the scenic route or scenic spot swaps, or scenic spots charging plus swapping. So we can tell that a lot of NEO owners, including this stat includes NEO owners in Europe, they visited a charger or swap station in a scenic spot, which could be very far or very rural. And this is very nice stat as well. And it's also advertising how in Europe there's just one route which spans 1,227 kilometers, and on that route there's 16 charging or swap stations in Europe, and lots of people do go there and use that route, which is really, really nice. So this is a very interesting, and here it just says like, NEO's got all these charging infrastructure on all these scenic routes here in China, including some really, really rural ones as well. And then here, this one is quite nice. This is, of course, the number of flexible battery upgrades. NIO has 20,606 flexible battery upgrades in the month of July. Flexible battery upgrades is the game-changing thing. Of course, we know for a fact with NIO's cars, you don't have to worry about battery degradation, but you can also upgrade it temporarily for about $20 well, $8 per day to upgrade from the 75 to the 100, and then it costs about $20 to upgrade from the 75 to the 150 kilowatt hour battery pack. So you can pretty much double your range for $20 per day, which is absolutely incredible. And of course, the slogan is, on your daily average use, you can just use your standard range battery pack. But then when you got to go on a long road trip, you can upgrade to the 100 and the 150. And I also got great news. Apparently, flexible battery upgrade is also coming to Europe very soon by the end of this year. So that's also something to look forward to. And the biggest thing is, of course, swapping is taking over. We got more swaps, 2.299 million swaps. And that's just from NIO owners compared to 2.266 million charging orders. And this is from everybody, all right? Not just NIO. So more swap orders. This, of course, means swapping is being validated. All right, people are preferring swaps. It's a no-brainer. For NIO owners themselves, 53.2% swap, and only 4.5%. And I guess total, if you add total within also like public chargers, all right, that would be like maybe like a 24%. So 53.2% swap for NIO owners versus 24% for public chargers, including NIO's public chargers. So people are definitely preferring charging over swapping. Swapping over charging. There is something to keep in mind is that swapping has a fixed fee, whereas charging has a variable service fee depending on the amount of electricity you charge. So if you only need to charge like 10%, then charging is better than swapping because swapping has a higher fixed fee. However, if your battery is nearly empty, it's cheaper to swap than to charge for some places. And of course, NIO does have flexible pricing for swaps. They do make the swapping fees higher and also charging higher during peak hours. And also remember these remote locations for swapping, for charging. NIO does jack up the prices quite substantially, especially in those rural places where there's only NIO chargers. Everybody has the charger. NIO has pricing power, and they're able to earn quite a lot of money from that as well. So this is pretty nice. It's just very interesting how there's more people swapping than charging. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.